What's up, and welcome back to the Kind of Funny screencast. Of course, I'm Tim Geddes, and I'm joined by the Nitro Rifle, Andy Cortez.
I need a season 2.
Already? Wow. The producer / seducer, Nick Scarpino.
I need a Starbucks.
Yeah, not as good as what you said right before this when Barrett asked if you're ready to watch the Halo trailer, and your reaction was, let's get into Warthog and go to Starbucks.
Wouldn't it be cool, though, Andy? Wouldn't it be cool? Because like at E3 times when they have the Warthog, they bring it out and people rock around as like Master Chief. Wouldn't it be cool if I pulled up to your house and just honked the horn and so you had to come outside, or else your neighbors were like, dude, you're either going to go outside and then get in that Warthog with that guy, or you're kicked out of the apartment.
It would look like the scene in Zoolander where we're just all in the car, like going to Starbucks in the convertible.
Fun, man.
It'd be so cool.
Have a gas party.
I love it. And since we are talking about Halo, we had to bring in the one and only master of hype, Snow Bike Mike.
I'm ready for this trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That sounded damn good. Will the rest of it sound good? I don't know. Yeah, okay, good. You took it off. He has the authentic replica Master Chief helmet that they sent out for the Infinite Collector's Edition. So that was a fun thing. Of course, this is the Kind of Funny screencast for each and every week, sometimes multiple times a week, including this week. We come together to talk about the latest in TV, movies, and movie/TV show trailers. You can get it on youtube.com/kindoffunny or roosterteeth.com. If you want to get it as a podcast, even the trailer reaction stuff, because we discuss and have a lot of fun talking points, you can get that on your favorite podcast service. Just search for Kind of Funny Screencast, and we'll be right there for you. If you wanted to get the show ad-free and watch live as we record it, you got to go to patreon.com/kindoffunny, just like our Patreon producers, Molecule, James Davis Makes, and Pranksy have all done. If you want to write in your thoughts on the different trailers or movies or anything, theories, questions, all that stuff, you don't even need to go on Patreon. You can just go to kindoffunny.com/screencast, write in, and we'll get to all of that stuff. Big week here at Kind of Funny for Screencast, because of course right now we're doing the Halo trailer reactions. Last couple weeks we did the Batman trailer reactions you can check out. We're continuing to do our Book of Boba Fett reactions and Peacemaker reactions, and later this week we will be reviewing Jackass Forever. I am very, very, very excited to watch that film. That's sure to be cinematic masterpiece. Just hanging out with the boys. But we're not talking about that today. Today, we're talking about Halo. I've made the boys wait. Mike has not watched this yet. None of us have watched this yet. This is going to be our first time. Barrett, hit the play button.
You. Humanity's best weapon. Master Chief, huh?
Sound effects, man. It's good.
The Master
a
Chief was
really
enhanced
good-looking
and trained
helmet.
for one purpose. To win this war. He and the other Spartans are our only effective weapons against the Covenant.
Oh,
He is lethal,
that looks good.
upgradable, and most importantly,
Oh, shit.
controllable.
Covenant forces appear to be excavating some kind of object. When I touched the object,
Don't activate the Halo, Chief.
I felt different. What they did to us makes you numb.
And you just decided to help me. Why would a Spartan do that?
What does one do with a superhuman you're not sure you can trust?
Oh my god, it looks Captain Q looks
Hello,
good.
Mr. Chief.
Yeah, he looks great.
I'm Cortana.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Cortana, a little less good. Wow.
Master Chief recovered something.
Sacred ring. Halo.
Wait.
Like
Big
Lady
turtle
Gaga.
nose.
I can feel it in the air tonight.
Yes, this is so
Why?
fun. This is incredible.
Cortana, I'm gonna need
flood?
you now. Find the Halo. Win the war.
Okay.
March 24th, dude. Okay. I will say, when you have one of the greatest video game soundtracks of all time, maybe use that instead of it's like I'm not against the slow dramatic license songs. I actually am a fan of it. I know a lot of people disagree, but I like that stuff. But it has to fit. Like this just seemed like, oh, what do we have the rights to? Okay, yeah, just put
what's
that
in the
there.
library.
It's like the Uncharted trailer where they barely use the Uncharted music.
Yeah, like what do you come on? Like, but with Halo, it's like it's so tied to it. But anyway, Mike, what do you think?
You know what? I'm coming out cautiously optimistic. I'm happy seeing some of the characters we know and love. There was a couple scenes where I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I vibe with this, and I'm worried. But there's definitely a couple of cool moments. Like right there, we saw that Elite could be the Arbiter, but he looked good. There's another moment here. That's not the best look. But, there's a couple of moments here. No Steve Downs. So Master Chief definitely sounds different, right? Steve Downs isn't going to be in the suit. I think we might see Chief without a helmet on. I like that Jen Taylor is back as Cortana. She's not blue, and I know a lot of people will probably have conversations about that. But I'm going to come out.
We're going to do a frame by frame bear, so you don't need to skip around. You can just have it play.
I'm going to come out optimistic, cautiously optimistic about this one.
Andy Cortez.
I thought this looked way cooler than it had any right to be. I think we've had such a long lead up to the possibilities of having any sort of Halo type show or movie over the years. I'm thinking back to all the rumors with like Weta Workshop making a Halo movie with District 9. I'm blanking on the name right now. Yes, with Neil Blomkamp. Steve Blomkamp? They're the brothers. Either way, this looks way cooler than I thought it would have looked. I was not expecting the level of production, although it could be higher. Don't get me wrong. I'm still getting a lot of sci-fi, the series sort of vibes from this, but I wasn't expecting to see an Elite look that good on that close-up. I thought that CG looked really awesome. I'm loving Master Chief's voice. I thought if we didn't get Downs that it was going to be kind of a bummer, but I think it sounds great. I think visually they are nailing kind of the overall look and vibe of Halo. There's still some moments where you get that, oh, this is an IGN April Fool's video. There's still moments like that, but I think this looks badass. I wasn't expecting to be this high on it, is what I'll say. I'm really excited for this.
Nick Scarpino, you're definitely the least involved in Halo in any way on this panel. What did you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with both with Andy and Mike on both their strong and weak points on this. I think that it does hit somewhere in between the sci-fi original channel movie and something else, like a Mandalorian for me. Which is not to say that I'm not interested in it. One of the things that I actually am interested in I'm less about the aesthetics of these, because I always, you and me, I always harp on sort of, I wish they had $50 more million and I wish this was a mainstream movie. But what intrigues me about this is sort of the mystery behind what's going on with the Halo, with Master Chief being sort of this like RoboCop style drone that now needs to be unlocked and unhinged, and like he's autonomous. I'm always a sucker for that kind of a story, Tim, where someone's trying to control me, Tim, but you can't control me. I'm going to Starbucks for a fifth time. And so I think there's something interesting there. And also, I just want to give a shout out to Natasha McElhorn, I think is her name, McElhon, who was the, if you ever watched Californication, she was she played Karen, she played his wife. That's her right there. She's a great actor. I'm super excited to see her pop into this. I'm assuming she's maybe a big baddie or not, but she's a great actor. And it's got a cool cast. So I will side with Andy as being cautiously optimistic, but it all comes down to what the story is going to be, and it looks like there's going to be a lot of intrigue and mystery, and kind of, I love that actor too.
Bokeem Woodbine is incredible in everything he's in, so that's another big positive.
So what do we know him from? He looks super familiar.
Spider-Man.
Oh, that's right. He was Shocker.
Spider-Man. Yeah, he's in Spider-Man. But if you've ever seen Fargo the series, he is one of the main villains, or one of kind of like the cast of villains, and he's just such a great kind of scary presence. Here he looks to be more of a good guy, but still he has great on-screen presence.
Yeah, so I'm into it, and honestly, the idea of, I mean, I'm a sucker for any time they redo those classic songs from like the '80s and the slow classics that they put in here. So, but the idea of like I can hear it calling in the air, some sort of mystery happening, I think that kind of fits. I think it's kind of cool. I'm not like married to the Halo franchise like you guys are, so I couldn't tell you who the voice actors are of these things, and I hope to God we can see his face because that was one of the spoilers things I liked about Mando. I thought they kind of treated that well, where you got to see it, and it was a really poignant moment for a really good reason, specifically in season 2. So, yeah, I don't know. Looks cool.
Yeah, I'm in a similar place to you guys where this is definitely way better looking than I expected it to be, but it just isn't quite that level of what I wished it was. But having said that, like I'm not too upset with the visuals and kind of production design of it all because I think that it more than crosses the bar of good enough. Like I think that more of this is kind of like it's not just distracting. I think that's kind of the big thing. And I think a lot of sci-fi series stuff like this is actually a lot better than sci-fi. This and we think this is what sci-fi looks like, but it's actually not. Like this, there's a total consistency to this that I think is a little closer to that Mando Disney Plus style of production.
Although when I see shows like The Expanse, like I get some Expanse vibes from this when it comes to like the interior design of things, but there's only so much you can do to turn a video game's visual design language and have it make sense on screen. So I know exactly what you're saying, Tim, where it's like, this is definitely above the bar of what we expected. But you can only do so much to make Mario in the video game look like Mario in real life. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
But that's not to say you can't tell a good story, right? The Expanse is a great story, and like one of the series that I always come back to of saying like you want to see something that did a lot with little, go to Battlestar Galactica. They had 3 corridor sets for that whole show, and they just kind of they just wrote really good stories and really interesting things going on, and so this could absolutely be good.
And that's kind of where I'm at with this is I feel like it's kind of rough to get a Halo movie or TV show trailer to really get me excited unless it's literally just a greatest hits hype moment of like, oh, remember this moment, remember this, and like here music stings and all that stuff. And like we're not going to get that. This is them trying to make a series and tell a story. And the Halo story has never been my favorite thing. So I'm not super tied to them getting all of that stuff right. Like I like that this seems different. Like there's this human working with the Covenant and all that. Like that's cooler to me than kind of just getting the story that was always just fine in the Halo games told as a series. Like I'm with Nick of the kind of taking Master Chief and making him more of this like RoboCop type character. I think actually is way more compelling than just a one-for-one adaptation of the mainline story so far. But the thing I'm most impressed by is that they're committing to the ships and the cars and like the things that they need to nail. I think they did nail, with the exception of Cortana. Like I think it's kind of weird that she is a hologram.
That's weird.
But they have her be a human. Like
that was an interesting
that's a character that like you could just you have the perfect excuse to like not make her look realistic. Like
she's and she's 3D in this too, right? It's not like I mean, it's probably based on a real actor, but like she looks like she's a CG image. So why not just make her transparent? Like,
just use Cortana from the game. Like that's kind of a weird thing. But it's Jen Taylor, so it is the voice of Cortana, which I do think is probably the most important voice to me, at least from the Halo franchise. So that excites me. And there's just certain things like Chief picking up the gun that way, like that feels like Halo, even though that isn't something we've seen in Halo before. And I think that's the most important thing, is it feeling like Halo. And March 24th, it's sooner than I expected. We're 2 months away from this thing starting on Paramount Plus. So that's pretty cool. We're gonna do a frame by frame of this, but first, let me tell you about our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by DoorDash. If you've been listening to any kind of funny podcast, you know that we absolutely love using DoorDash. It's so great. It's so simple to just be able to order whatever food we want and then have it delivered right to our house, along with the restaurants you love. You can now get groceries and other essential items delivered with DoorDash. You can get some drinks, snacks, and other household items in under an hour. With over 300,000 partners, you can support your neighborhood go-tos. We're always talking about Volcano Curry in San Francisco, of course. Ordering is easy, and your items will be left outside your door when you choose contactless delivery drop-off, whether it is the local favorites or the nationwide chains like things like Popeyes, Cheesecake Factory, all of that. For a limited time, y'all can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on your first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter code KindaFunny. That's 25% off up to a $10 value and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter code KindaFunny. Don't forget, that's code KindaFunny for 25% 10% off your first order with DoorDash. Subject to change, terms apply. All right, Barrett, if you could pop back to the very beginning.
I'm going to say the thing that I like most about this, a lot of great looking mullets.
Oh, yeah. Shaved sides too.
Yeah.
Real badass.
I don't know who this actress is here, but her hair with like the blunted top and the mullet in the back is like my all-time favorite look right now.
Get a lot of Rogue One vibes from this shot here. This looks like that Jeddah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing about the thing that adds a lot to the sort of production value is shots like this that are really well rendered and just kind of visualized. I think that amps up the production quality quite a bit, because once you get on the ground floor of it and the ground level and you see things a little closer, that's where the props might kind of stick out more as TV quality level. But like shots like this, I think look really good. And there's some other shots like this in the rest of the trailer that I think we'll point out and kind of look at and go, God dang, that's a really good, that's really good imagery right there.
Yeah, and it's going to be cool exploring the Halo universe, right? If this goes past season 1 and beyond and where they take us, there's a lot of cool locations we can go to that should have some stunning vistas like this to wow us and give the players what they want to see from all the things from the books to the games that we all love.
Blood Gulch.
What's that say there?
IGOON.
Is that IGDON? Or are those both O's? Because the third letter looks a lot more slanty.
Yeah, kind of like a D. Backwards G.
Intergalactic
planetary.
That's exactly. I knew somebody was going to go there.
This is one of the shots that I don't think looks that great. And you're right, Andy. Kind of when we get on the ground floor, we're kind of seeing a little bit. It's so interesting to me that when they color these, that they choose to color them so brightly. I'm not quite sure why they don't give some of these like more of I would expect something like this hide a little bit of the visuals with more of like an orange tint to it, you know? Give me that look like we had in the scene before, because it doesn't look like those two match. If you go back to that beautiful wide shot of that's obviously computer generated, the first thing we see here, it looks, look at how orange this looks. There's no blue sky in this, and then we cut to this next shot. I mean, granted, maybe they're two different locations. Who knows? But this they don't look like they match. And so I always want to talk to the colorists of these things and be like, dude, just like muddy up the look a little bit. Give me a little bit of a grungy look. Tell me like visually what's going on with these people, because it looks like there's a bunch of rebels, like ragtag group of rebels that are fighting. But we're seeing this obviously looks like they went out to like the outskirts of LA and just kind of shot around there with this structure they could find. And that's the thing. Game of Thrones did that so well, right? And to your point, we got these beautiful vistas, or they hid the castles in the back. But when you were with them in those moments, the set pieces of Game of Thrones really sold the reality of where they were at. And I think a lot of these shows, and this is the harp that I've had a couple times with the Disney Plus shows, is that they just, something like Mando just didn't quite do it for me. They were just not, the environments just weren't like inhabited enough. They didn't feel real to me.
Is this a prequel?
Yes.
This is happening before Halo 1, right? Yeah.
I mean, I think this is non-canon. So
yeah,
it is.
So they have two different storylines going to go on. There's the main canon, and then they're going to take pieces from that, but this is going to be its own separate thing going
That's
on
smart
here.
to do.
Yeah,
that's really smart.
I totally think it is. Like, you need to untie and just tell a good story from modern times.
Yeah. Because that's the thing for people like me who I don't have really a stake in the Halo race. I don't really care. I just want a cool story. I couldn't tell you what the story was for Halo 1 or any of the Halo movies, other than there's a big ring and there's something that we're fighting. We're fighting on it.
There's your haircut, Nick.
That's so dope.
Yep. So she's going to be a main piece of this. We see her a lot in this trailer.
What's this explosion? What's this explosion from the centerpiece that we see here in a couple of seconds? We see like a lot of blue sort of plasma.
Well, yeah, we're hearing a lot of the Covenant shots, like the sound effects there. Mm-hmm. And yeah, there we get some.
It's this sort of sequence from there's a top-down shot coming up here pretty soon that always made me wonder who attacked, what sort of weapon were they about to get.
Getting dropped in somewhere. Look, gotta have the superhero landing for Master Chief.
Looks like the Halo 3 trailer.
I like this plasma pistol. This looks semi-good.
Yeah.
There's one gun I didn't like.
Semi-good.
Yeah, so the battle rifle looks great. This one looks all right. This next one, when he hands him the AR, does not look good. This looks like a full-on prop to me. This doesn't look bad.
Gatling gun's pretty hype.
Oh, you mean when the soldier hands him the AR?
Yeah, you're gonna see
I
it. It
know what
looks
you mean.
kind of just like here's a block of wood, bro.
Yeah,
that-
you know why? Because it looks like there's no weight to the gun. It looks like I just handed you a plastic gun, and it's like when people always when they drink coffee in movies. I'm like, there's no coffee in that cup. You don't have any coffee in that cup.
So it looks like they're blowing up some sort of reactor in there.
Yeah. I wonder what sort of. Yeah, Mike, you were mentioning the locations earlier. How tied can you make it without make it like are we gonna get mentions of known locations, or in this sort of separated canon, how close can they get to it, in other words? You know what I mean? Like in Star Wars, you're always hearing Mos Espa being brought up, and it's like, oh, they brought up Mos Espa here in The Mandalorian. That's so cool. But like, is there any substance to it, you know?
Yeah, I think we'll get Reach, right? We're gonna see Master Chief here. We're gonna see a number of Spartans. I think that's Halsey was Nick's favorite actor in here. So like, I think we're gonna get Reach for sure. Reach will be we'll have some conversation here. This gun doesn't look the best to me, but it's cool to see the iconic weaponry, right? That's what it's all about. And that Banshee in the background is super badass right there.
Yeah, that is awesome. And I want to give a shout out to the costumes because like it's kind of goofy. Like I don't think that Master Chief's ever gonna look super dope in real life, but this is kind of the dopest it can look. Like they really did a good job, I think. Of making it real. And the soldiers too. Like look at the ODST people. Like that is the game come to life in a way that doesn't feel fan film. Like this does feel like this is what it would look like. This is the best it's gonna get, you know, because it's goofy to start with.
Yeah, no, I totally know what you mean. I was always kind of thrown off by the original sort of look and the original sort of preview that we got for this during that one Xbox Halo Celebration Day thing, because I wasn't expecting Chief's armor to look as like when I think of Chief's the green pieces, I think of just like the hardest titanium alloy sort of like material, and here it kind of just looks like a carbon fibered kind of hard plastic in a way. And I always expected it to be like the hardest piece of steel you've ever seen in your life. There's Halsey.
So yeah, I think that's got to be Halsey. We're gonna get some great shots of some Spartans
oh my god,
here.
I didn't know what you guys were talking about. I was like,
great.
I thought you meant the musician. I was like, I was like, what are you talking about?
Funny you say that, Nick. I found a tweet that Halsey tweeted out about Halsey here, because Halsey in the story runs. She's the one who essentially turns children into soldiers and kind of like recruits to make these kids into Spartans. And Halsey tweeted out how her fans are kind of like her children soldiers.
Nice.
I was like, wow, the actual Halsey tweeted about
Did she really say that?
You're like, wow, that's not that's not something you should tweet out necessarily. Child soldier is not a good thing historically. So these are the other Spartans, right?
Yeah, so I'm digging this. I like that we have a Spartan crew, right? He's going to have one of his teams here. Who are they? I'm not quite sure.
Well, I know the actress with the pink hair there. Hold on, I'm going to look her up. Also,
that one on the left looks dope.
Right? Dude, I wonder if it is Linda is the sniper. Right,
Linda and Kelly are going to be your two iconic ones you know well.
Yeah, that because we get the sniper there, right? So that'd be cool if it was her.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I know so little about the character. Like I forgot so much about what those stories were. I just remember they were awesome.
I will say the guy, looking up the IMDb, the guy playing Master Chief has been in a ton of stuff. He was in The Wire season 2 as one of the bad guys, one of the dock workers. Do you guys ever watch that?
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Remember, like one of the young guy. If you look at a picture of him, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. He's been in a ton of stuff, but that's cool that he's getting that job. Very tall,
I need to clarify on this tweet. This tweet is from 2017 from Halsey, the musician. She says, "It's funny you guys call me mom because in Halo, Dr. Halsey kidnapped a bunch of kids and constructed an army of them, and it's like, yeah, me too."
Yeah.
Holy shit!
That's a solid line right there, lady.
Yeah. So this is another one of those interesting things where does this look great? Absolutely not. But what is it? It's an energy sword going through a fucking wall, and it's like. What else would it look like? You know, I don't know, because this looks awesome.
Yeah,
this doesn't see this. I'll disagree. This does not look that great to me. I don't know why. Like I saw this, I was like, oh, that's one of the first shots that I thought you really got to nail these close-up shots if you're going to have these characters kind of be interacting with the humans. And I don't know.
I think they did though. Like this. Yeah, this is what they should
think they nailed this. Is right. If this is Arbiter or any Elite, this nails the look of what you expect from the video game onto a TV screen. This looks great.
Hell yeah.
Warthog looking good. There's you and Andy getting Starbucks.
There it is. Let's go.
That's a good looking shot.
This is the
This
this
I
is the
didn't
shot
like.
that Mike didn't like. I thought this shot looks cool. Like I just love the idea of these of Master Chief. Who look at his shield.
His
Shield
shield,
looks
dude.
great. Shield looks dope.
Oh, that's so sick.
Rewind a little bit more, Bear. It was cool just seeing like the impact of it kind of going across his body. I didn't notice that the first time watching it.
Oh,
That's
awesome.
really cool. Yeah, I love the idea. I think Halo does such a cool thing with scale and the fact that Master Chief and the other Spartans are, what are they, 7-8 feet tall? That means these elites are like 12 feet tall, and it's terrifying. Like it's so funny when you somebody on Twitter had kind of gone to the 343 offices and they took a picture with the life size sort of scale of things, and the little grunts you kill are like 5.5 feet tall.
That is terrifying.
It's terrifying to think about, just because they seem like these little stupid enemies that you're just killing. So I think Halo does such a cool thing with scale. I like that shot a lot. I think it looked pretty cool.
He looks good right there.
Getting that gun foo in there.
And then, we continue to see all the iconic vehicles, like you said before, Tim, right? Like, that's going to be a big tie-in for all the fans. To see all the different vehicles come to life will be cool.
And here we go, like activating the Halo, right?
Yeah, here's your big mystery of whatever this is.
That's a really cool shot. I think that I think when you can see sort of blue glyph light kind of shining off of Master Chief's suit, I think they nail that look absolutely.
What's the black goo?
I imagine he beat the shit out of those elites. That's their like blood.
Yeah, that's their blood, definitely.
Pretty fucking cool.
And I know a lot of people are going to criticize me for my take on this, so I want to just dial it back real quick, guys. You're right. It's more Universal Soldier and less RoboCop. You guys are absolutely right. Sorry about that. I've been thinking about it a lot. I just thought I'd get it out right now. Get ahead of the comments right now. Get ahead of the Reddit thread.
This is the shot that I wanted to point out. I think similar to that first shot we saw of the desert, this is one of those sort of big, expansive shots showing off what the environments can be, and it looks good. It looks high quality. It kind of, once we get on the ground floor level of wherever this is, we'll see how that changes. But I think these are really cool presentation shots to show off, hey, we do have a budget. Don't worry.
This is one of the shots, though, that doesn't feel Halo to me, though. And we'll see. Like, this just doesn't seem like the type of environment.
This feels more Star Wars than Halo, for sure.
Yeah. Little Chief.
Yeah, we'll definitely get some callbacks to when he was a kid there.
There's so many similarities between this and Mando.
I know.
So many. Even that right there, that gun, I'm like that doesn't have a sense of weight to it. But this shot I like.
Yeah, that Pelican looks badass right there with the warthogs and the scorpions in the back too.
That's a really good shot.
Yeah, the amount of people in that's cool. It reminds me of the opening scene of Transformers 1 on the army base with the helicopter that transforms.
This guy looks great.
Yeah,
he looks
perfect.
Great.
Perfect.
This looks like the video game come to life right there. And then there's Cortana. This is going to be, I mean, I saw social media last night. Social media is ablaze right now of Cortana not being the blue hologram as we know, right? I'll say right now, I'm not mad at this. Right? I'm not mad. I like the Jen Taylors here, but it is a different look for Cortana. I'm not mad at it right now.
I think it looks
I don't want to say I'm mad at it. I just think that it's I think indicative of the choices they're going to make, and I don't necessarily think that those are good choices for a quality TV show, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, there's the idea of Cortana being sort of being that like artificial life form and not having the physical form that's more human is, kind of pretty relevant. It's interesting they went the Ready Player One route here, where they're like, we're going to go kind of uncanny valley with it. I think it was a lot more work than they needed to go, but hey, whatever.
No, this is a real person, Nick. This isn't CG.
That's CG for sure.
I think it's a person with
there's
CG.
an actress playing her. Yes.
Yeah, that's like actually Jen Taylor.
I mean, but the way that she's like when she moves around, hold on, like I'll Like she looks animated here.
That's totally animated. I mean, maybe not. Maybe they just put a ton of makeup on her, but it looks like Princess Leia from Rogue One.
Like those
or-
teeth,
maybe the way the
those aren't
mouth is
real.
animating.
Those aren't real teeth right there. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Jen Taylor doesn't have that many teeth.
She only has 2 teeth. It's crazy.
I think they just need to dial up the
blue
digitalness, not even the blueness. Like make it look like a Star Wars hologram, and maybe this is obviously I think they could have done that. There's a very deliberate reason why they didn't. Like make it look like a hologram from any of the Star Wars when they call up, anybody on their little holograms, and it's just a blue digitized sort of line looking through. Even when we think of when you call up people in Death Stranding, when you get to the little base and like when Jeff Keighley's hologram would pop up or whoever it is you're going to talk to. I think it just needs to look like that, and this is definitely a choice.
My thing is, the choice that I don't like is we shouldn't be questioning if this is real or not. It should definitely be fake. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Digitize it. Give some holes in her. Like add more color variation that doesn't seem human. Because like this just it reads wrong to me.
But like I'm looking at a picture of Jen Taylor right now. That's not the same person. That's not the same human being. Right?
Type in. Looks like Natasha McElroy, or I'm probably mispronouncing that last name.
That's not her.
She's listed as Cortana. It says though.
Really? Because that's
which is interesting.
Oh, maybe she's doing the same voice for her. Because I thought
Jen Taylor's doing the voice, but then this one's put down as Cortana, which is interesting. This lady.
Huh.
Oh yeah, you're right. I just see voice cast. I just see voice cast Jen Taylor's Cortana.
See, I've got Natasha McElroy here as Dr. Catherine Hazley. That's
is she on that? Okay.
Halsey,
but then I have quote Cortana. That's weird. I wonder.
Well, spoilers.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil that one.
No. Jen, it says on IMDb it says Jen Taylor as Cortana. So I don't know where you're looking, Mike, but I'm looking on the IMDb.
Yeah, on the wiki page, it has all the main cast, and then you get to voice cast, and it says Jen Taylor as Cortana.
Yeah. So this is definitely not her. That's an image of something else or some other person else that they've modeled. That's why I think it's CG, and that's why.
So they're using a CG version of Natasha McElhone because spoilers, Nick. Like Cortana is a kind of an AI based on her.
That's cool.
On Halsey. Spoilers. Like
the musician or the
Oh yeah, look at that visor, dude.
Dude, holy shit! I didn't even notice this shot.
Yeah, that armor looks great.
And that sniper.
You think you can see that scope, Mike? You think you can see through that scope?
No, he can't see through that, but it's super dope looking either way. Look
Dude,
at this.
The jackal, dude.
Yeah, I was just saying, let's look at this jackal really quick because looking at him frame by frame, he looks much better than I thought. You can only see him for a brief second.
Oh shit! I didn't notice this the first time.
The shield looks great.
Yeah.
Maybe I was so bombarded by
a little dagger sword too, which is
I was so bombarded by how Cortana looked. The next couple shots, I feel like I just blacked out during.
They nailed it. Like that's how it should look.
Yeah. And then this is a killer shot of the three of them right there. They look good.
Let's get some more scuffed up looking armor.
Yes.
These people have never been in a fight in their life.
Never.
We're fresh out of the box.
But isn't that the kind of
Guys.
point though? Is that like we just saw them suit up and stuff? So like this is their first outing in these outfits. So
maybe.
So I know they're supposed to be like mongooses, but why on the left and right does it look like they're in the Tonka trucks from the toy section at Toys R Us?
That's a great poll.
no.
And that reminds me, guys, I've been meaning to pitch you. When we get into the new studio, can we all just ride around in those no matter what? I mean, it's only 4,700 square feet, but I'm pretty sure we can get 7 or 8 ATVs in there.
Also, they're in like a base right now, so I find it interesting that like this front dude is like squaring up, like he's about to shoot.
There's
someone.
a homie riding behind the guy on top of him.
Oh yeah,
on the left.
Gutter seat.
I mean, they have showed every single iconic vehicle in this 2-minute trailer. Every single one has been in here, which is funny. I'm pretty excited for these next couple of shots. We're going to see the profits here in just a little bit, which is pretty cool to see story-wise of what we'll expect.
It's going to drive me nuts. I know that actress from something. What?
So yeah, this is interesting because she kind of has the Prophet outfit vibe going on, which is definitely human. And I am definitely not up on Halo lore, but like humans and Covenant, that's like a no-no, right? like just from the get go, they hate them.
Except for when Arbiter, bridged the gap there. But yeah, here's your shot right there of the High Council in just a moment. Right after this one, you'll see the three prophets that we saw through Halo, the beginning franchise, right? And then I don't know who that is. If that's Arbiter, I have to assume. But that's a great shot of all three of them really quick. That's fun to know for the story as well.
This right here could be this lady right here. I'm unsure who she's playing or who she is.
Oh, to the right?
Yeah, so right here, it looks similar.
Yeah.
But maybe it looks a little more hooded, so I might be wrong there. But
no, but scale-wise, yeah, that looks dead on because she looks a lot shorter than what the Arbiter or what the Elite would be behind her.
Is that Master Chief carrying his helmet?
That's a good pull, Nick, actually.
It doesn't look like a human head, though. That's my one thing, is that like the head seems to go a little bit more forward, leaning forward.
Can you zoom in 1,000% and enhance?
I don't have that technology, unfortunately.
1,000%
I think Mike might be right. I think that might be an Elite, the Arbiter.
Yeah.
Maybe with his helmet off.
Oh.
Little pistol.
What's that thing?
Now, this is an interesting thing right here.
This is the Boogaloo.
Flood? What is going on here? You know, what is this tease?
And why is she not scared? What is she doing?
She's controlling them.
So
Mind Hive.
I mean, it invokes the Flood, right? But like, it also doesn't look like the Flood. It looks more like that thing from the end of Halo 2. Grave Mind?
Yeah, but wasn't that the Mega Flood?
Underwater.
Was it? Yeah, I don't fucking remember. But it's interesting. There's a lot of elements they're throwing into this, which I hope they do a good job of like telling a story that makes sense. Because like the prophets and the Flood and the Covenant and this woman, like there's a lot of shit going on. But that could be cool. Squad.
I love just seeing the variety of the suits, and that's going to be an easy way to kind of differentiate people. Just the shapes of helmets, visors, and things like that.
Mm-hmm. All the gear, they look great.
Can you rewind back to that shot real quick, Baron? Because I just love, like, it's such a small kind of thing, but just seeing the sheen off of his chest plate, that's like I'm finally getting like the shiny kind of metallic vibe as opposed to glossy plasticky vibe.
And and I think it'll probably be a point where like he's been fighting this war, right, and then they've just been called into action, right? So I think there might be a little bit of like maybe friction there of like I've been seeing this war and y'all are just like new kids on the streets just trying to, pretend.
I'm a lone wolf.
Yeah.
God, he's the greatest.
I work alone. What are the odds we get that line? I work alone.
Probably at least 5 times.
Y'all need to watch Fargo if you haven't seen it. Oh, what a shot.
God.
Now, that is an interesting way to pick up the battle rifle, but I dig it.
Cool as fuck, dude.
That is a choice right there.
If you're going to give the gun a handle, you're going to pick it up. It's just like the GameCube. You put a handle on it, and I'm going to take it
That's
places.
how I would, when I would head to my friend's house with Smash and Double Dash. That's how I would do it. Someone just got gooped.
Yeah.
So what are the odds we see grunts? Because
grunts, like we got to, right?
Yeah. Grunts really change the tone of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
grunts will change this in a way that silly. I think the outside people who aren't super familiar with Halo, it might turn them off and be like, "What the fuck is this stuff?" Because grunts just change the vibe.
But in my opinion, grunts are the thing that make it not just generic sci-fi. You know what I mean? It's like they need to nail that vibe. I feel like they have to create some character for the Covenant, or else they're just bad guys, and like you can make bad guys with a bad plan, but I feel like having them feel like real people to an extent, I think goes a long way in us not caring for them, but like giving a hell about what's going on.
I don't know, man. I think adding grunts to it would really kind of have it would start some of those viral moments where people go, what is this? What are they doing with this show? Because I think that it works in video game context, and I think if you have on screen someone going, "Oh my god, he's Like it just doesn't work at all.
I think they could do it like once or twice where you get the reaction of like, oh my god, he's here. But then like also another moment where you just like hear them have like a dumb conversation, and I think that could still work in like the like grander context of what's going on in Halo, and have it just be this quick funny moment that they don't like focus on.
It'll be the Cowboy Bebop Ed moment.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, it would, dude.
Well,
the internet would react the same way to that.
Ed's a main character, and the way that they decided to visually adapt Ed into live action, like unless they like really fuck up the way that like they would adapt Grunt's live action, I don't think that's going to be the same. I think it's that you get 2 quick moments with Grunt being silly, and that's all we need. And I think that I don't think that hinders the tone of the show whatsoever. And then like the biggest moments is that like they're just in battle and you see them running around and shit, and that's it.
The thing is, I don't think they fucked up Ed's interpretation to live action. That's how Ed is in the cartoon. It's just when you see it translated, it's off-putting and it's kind of odd, and it's why everybody says like this is why anime doesn't work in live action. And I think the grunts would give me that same type of vibe. I think we just need to kind of see him far away getting killed, and I don't want to hear like, "Oh my god, he killed him!" Like it's just, it would be weird
like
as
going
hell.
for a very, very serious tone with this across the board. It's violent, it's bloody.
We got the Phil Collins dramatic song, Nick.
But I think that I definitely think they're gonna throw some references to pretty much everything that's Halo in there somewhere, whether it be like up front or just in the background running around for sure, like we've seen already in the trailer.
Yeah, well, we'll see. March 24th, I'm sure we're going to be doing screencast reviews. Maybe not every episode, but maybe, depending on how it goes. We don't know if the show's dropping all at once or it's going to be week to week, but stay tuned here to youtube.com/KindaFunny, and you'll find out soon. I'm sure that at least some of the members of this group will be part of that. Right, Mike?
I'll be there.
Hell sure. Yeah, dude. Anyways, let us know in the comments below what you think. Is Cortana real? Is Cortana fake? Do you give a shit? Until next time, love you all. Bye.